Hey, what's going on, guys? In today's video, I want to show you how you can design your own workout that you can do at home just with kettlebells and bodyweight exercises. It's very simple, very basic, total body workout, and it's perfect for someone who is a busy professional and you don't want to spend too much time. Basically, you want to work out to live instead of live to work out, right? This is the same format that I've been doing for the past 3 years or so, and I've had great results. It helps me to avoid burnouts, to avoid injuries, and it has helped me to not only maintain but also improve strength, power, conditioning, and endurance as well. Okay, so we go to the board here. You can see basically we structure the workout not by muscle groups but by movement patterns, and the reason for that is because this is a workout that aims to uh, sort of improve and maintain your overall fitness as opposed to purely just for packing muscle, right? This is not a bodybuilding workout program. This is more for you to get overall fitness and just be generally healthy, right? So each workout is going to comprise of 3 movement patterns. You're going to have your pushing, your pulling, and your lower body movements. And in order to be more efficient with our time, I like to throw in the workouts as supersets. So we have 1 superset, 2 superset, and then 1 accessory set in the end. Each superset will have all 3 movement patterns in it. So you'll have your pushing, you'll have your pulling, and you'll have your lower body, right? Same thing here for the second one. Push, pull, and lower body. Now, the unique thing about working with kettlebells is that you can actually combine 2 of these movement patterns as 1 exercise. If we use only conventional exercises, we would end up with 3 different exercises in 1 superset to be able to cover all 3 movement patterns. But with the kettlebells, you can combine 2 of them into 1. So let me give you an example. We pick a primary movement pattern in 1 superset. So let's say in the first superset here, I'm going to do a primary pushing movement, which is something that is kind of difficult to do. Let's say the ring dips. Okay, now I want to superset that with the kettlebell complex that covers both a pulling movement and a lower body movement. So that is something like the kettlebell clean to reverse lunge, for example. Okay, so you can see how by supersetting these 2 exercises, I'm able to cover a pushing, a pulling, and a lower body movement, right? So the primary movement is the ring dips, and then we superset that the secondary movements with the kettlebell clean and the reverse lunge. Now, for the second superset, we want to pick a different primary movement. So we had used the pushing with the ring dips. So for the second superset, maybe the primary one, we're going to go with the pull. So in this case, I'm going to do pull-ups. And I'm going to superset that with a movement that has both a pushing and a lower body. So in this case, I'm going to do the double kettlebell thruster, which is a squat to overhead press, essentially. Right. So the pull-ups is the primary exercise of the superset, and then the kettlebell thrusters, squat to overhead press, is the secondary one. So you see, just with 2 supersets, we're able to cover our whole body twice, right? And this is very time efficient. It's really fun to do as well, actually. And then after that, for the accessory work, this is where you can throw in literally anything you want. You notice that I don't have any direct ab works, so if you want, you can throw in sit-ups, crunches, planks. You can throw in more of any of the movement patterns. So if you feel you need to do more pushing, you need to do more pulling, it's up to you. You can do more push-ups, you can do more pull-ups, you can do kettlebell swings, or if you feel like you want to do more cardio, you can do jump rope, for example. Jump rope, you can do kettlebell carries, right? You can do animal movements, primal movements, whatever you want, basically. That's why it's called accessory, right? And if you don't feel like it, you don't have to do it. Just do the two main supersets, okay? So how does this play out over the course of a week? So as I mentioned before, we have two supersets in each day, and we have one accessory exercise. So the way I would structure it is, for day one, for example, we do the same thing. The primary movement is the push, and then we do a kettlebell complex that has a pull and lower body. For day two, I just simply move this one up. So now the pull is the primary move, and then we do the push and lower body as the secondary. And then for day three, I do this one, lower body as primary move, and push, pull as the secondary, right? Then we go to the second superset. In the second superset on day one, because I already used a push for the primary, now we're doing a pull. Pull, which means this is push and lower body. And here on day two, we already have a pull for the first superset. So the second one, let's say I want to do lower body. And then the secondary is going to be a push and pull. And finally, on day three, because we're already doing lower body, here I'm going to do a push, which means this is another pull and lower body, right? So you see on the first superset, primary movements, push, pull, lower body. The second superset, primary movements, pull, lower body, push, right? So how does this look as an example? The day one is almost the same as the example that we already went through at the top here. So let's say this is ring dips, and then this one is clean to lunge. It could be to squat or whatever you want, right? So the pull is going to be pull-ups, and the push can be kettlebell thrusters, squat to overhead press, basically. So day two, pull, maybe we do chin-ups, right? And the push to lower body, we can do, let's say we do squat and press, single kettlebell, squat to overhead press, right? And then for the lower body, we can do goblet squat, or let's do a calisthenic move. Let's do a pistol squat. And then push and pull can be kettlebell, clean, and press, right? And then on day three, this is a heavy leg day in the beginning. A lower body primary movement. So we're going to do double kettlebell squat, for example. And the push and pull, we can do double kettlebell clean and press. Clean, press. And then the push, let's do push-ups, some kind of a variation of the push-up. Could be clapping push-ups, archer push-ups, whatever. And then the pull and lower body, let's do a snatch to overhead reverse lunge. Okay? And then accessories is whatever you want, right? So carries, jump rope, if you like to work with gymnastic rings, you can do skin the cats, for example. Again, it's totally up to you, right? So you see the format is very simple, is very basic, and it's very flexible. It covers your entire body, and you can do whatever you want with it. Now, any of these exercises you can swap out as long as you maintain the movement pattern, right? So you can swap your dips with overhead press, with push-ups. You can swap your pull-ups with inverted rows, or kettlebell row, gorilla rows, renegade rows, whatever you want, right? You don't have to think about it. Just do it. It'll take you about 30 to 40 minutes typically to finish all of this each day. If one day you get bored and you want to customize a little bit more, there are ways to do that. For example, for pushing movements, we go back to the top here. Pushing movements can be divided into 3 different movement patterns based on directions. You have vertical upward push, so overhead press. You have vertical downward push, so dips, and you have horizontal push-up variations, right? Pulls are the same. Vertical upwards, like clean, snatch, upright row. Pull down, which is pull-ups and chin-ups. And horizontal pulls, which are inverted rows, dumbbell rows, depending on your the angle of your body. And lower body, I tend to just leave it alone. I don't really like to separate between quad dominant or hamstring dominant, but you can if you want to, right? So quad dominant or hamstring dominant. Now, how can we split up the how can we customize the workouts further? For example, okay, so we go back to our example of day one. We have a push. Let's assign this one, since we already have dips, so this is a downward vertical push, right? And then we find another one. So let's say on day two, here we do upward vertical push. And then on day three, we do horizontal push, right? So in our example, it's already like that. You have the dips, you have the overhead press, and you have the push-up, right? And then the pulls, let's say. So pull, let's do on the second superset. Here, we do a downward pull, so pull-ups. And here, maybe instead of chin-ups, we want to change it to a heavy snatch, right? Because this is an upward vertical pull. And then on day three, let's say we want to change one of these into, well, it's actually better if we change this one into a horizontal pull, sorry. This one is a horizontal pull, so we change this into inverted row, for example. And then this one, so we have a downward, we have a downward, we have a horizontal, now we have an upward. Upward we already have here, right? Upward pull, which is the snatch. Yeah. So you see, you can customize the workout this way if you really want to. But again, I wouldn't sweat it. You can do it just to give a little bit more interest and that added layer of customization. But other than that, this is a really simple and basic workout. You can swap out any of the exercises with any exercise that you like, as long as you maintain the overall movement pattern to make sure that you cover your whole body throughout each workout. Okay, so hopefully you found that helpful. If you look through some of my previous videos, you'll see how this manifests into my workouts. Basically, I still do the same format until today, and I've been doing it for more than 3 years. So it's really easy to keep up. It's really easy to maintain. I don't feel burnouts, and I haven't been injured since I started working this way. And I still maintain decently fit and looking pretty good overall physique, right? Give it a shot. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.